Oh my god, welcome back to Overwrite, the show where we rethink games. I'm Kuoman.
And I'm Sai.
And this is a very disturbing tree we got over here, so we're gonna, not look at it anymore. Goodbye.
It's a weird... Yeah.
This is probably my favorite opening to this little game, by the way. Like, just this little effect over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do it in Ocarina of Time, but, like...
It's taken straight from the Forest Temple, but made better.
But you know, like, what makes it cool for me is that, like, in the Forest Temple, it's just kind of like a neato, like, oh, look at that, like, what's happening. Like,
right.
Here, like, it, like, feeds into the disorientation and the story of what's going on.
Right.
Like, I'm sure, like, there's a lot... Most of you may have heard this already, but there's a lot of theories about what exactly, like, is going on in this game. Where are we? Because we're not in Hyrule. And so...
We are in a land called Termina.
Termina. Very on the nose with that name over there.
You're gonna teach us that later. With the dealings with dead.
Dead. Can you talk?
No! With the dealings with death. And the name Termina is really... very on the nose.
Definitely.
So this is the absolute creepiest character in every Zelda game ever.
And he's, like, lifted straight. Like, this was some side character from Ocarina of Time. And here, like, he becomes legendary.
Yep, this is what I was talking about. Using the same assets, but in very different ways.
Oh, yeah. So this is the Happy Mask Shop. Well, he's the owner of the Happy Mask Shop. He's the Happy Mask salesman.
Right.
And during his travels, a very important mask was stolen by him by an imp in the woods. Oh, really? I just had the same thing happen to me. He stole my horse.
It's not a mask. My horse and my flute.
And he's like, now I found you. Now, don't think me rude, but I have been following you. That is so rude.
And creepy.
For I know of a way to return you to your former self. So I think what's, like, also, like, I like how we're getting just how small and teeny tiny we really are.
Right.
Like, by the scale of the shot. So what makes him, like, other than, like, the creepy little music and, like, the dead man mask on over his, like, right shoulder, I think what really makes him creepy is that. Like, there's no, like, transition animations to his movements.
He just kind of cuts in and out.
Yeah, and it's, like... It is such a simple thing, and, like, in the hands of a bad, like, game designer, it would look like a mistake.
Right.
But they use it so effectively here to convey that something, like, there's something,
strange.
Let's say, like, strange, and, like, there's something powerful or magical about this character.
Right. There's definitely something different about him.
Yeah.
That you never really get to pinpoint until the end of the game.
Right.
So I'm not going to say anything else about that, but yes, you are right.
I just want to point out, by the way, that in the 3DS version, if you want to play along with us, there's a little, like, hint thing over here. It's terrible. Don't use it. Just, you know,
okay.
a little PSA right there.
Okay.
So, dawn of the first day. 72 hours remaining.
And this is the driving mechanic in this game.
Yes.
You only have 3 days to complete everything that you have to do.
Everything. The whole game, 3 days flat.
And the days, actually, I learned this recently. The days actually go by in the same amount of time that they do in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, really? So
yeah,
they're like 8-minute days?
Yes.
Oh, so it's like a lot of, like, a very small amount of time.
It's a very small window.
So like each, like, complete... So the 3 days is like in half an hour? It's a half an hour game, man!
Yep.
It's really short. They only had 8 months to make it. See, like, even Tato's going, like, even if we never sleep, it's okay, girl. We're video game characters. We don't need sleep. Only 72 hours. We're going to go see the Great Fairy. Look, you want to find the Skull Kid, don't you? Well, I mean, do I have a choice? Like, you've been dragging me around everywhere.
And also, you kind of... Yeah.
Go to the shrine near the North Gate. Like, you're telling these things to me like I know where we are. So this is Clock Town.
This game begins a lot more personally than he's gonna hit you. Yeah.
You dick!
At least
fuck you, dog!
He doesn't take... he doesn't do any damage.
Right. But he's annoying as all hell.
Yeah. So this game is a lot more. It begins a lot more personal than Ocarina of Time does. So if you remember, Ocarina of Time begins with just the tree telling you that you have to be heroic and do something, right?
Right.
This game begins with you being robbed.
Well, yeah,
And
because
your
you're already
initial-
heroic.
Yeah, and your initial motivation for this is like,
Oh,
it's very personal. Is you want to get your stuff back.
Are you for real here?
Yeah, he's not gonna let you leave because you're a kid.
Come on, guy. For real? Do you seriously need to squat while you're doing this?
Yeah.
Stop right there, Deku Scrub. Do you intend to return to the swamp alone? Well, yeah.
I think he also squats when you're like regular Link.
It is dangerous outside a town wall, so I cannot allow a child like you to leave unaccompanied. You are not allowed to pass through here without an adult or until you're old enough to carry a weapon. I just love how he shimmies. Like,
Did you see the dog? The
dog left. You know, the dog has a weapon clearly. It's me who can't leave. You know, the guy with the hat that can break things.
Okay, let's just move on.
Anyway,
I feel like I was saying something.
yeah, you were doing some real talk about how the game starts.
Right. It's a lot more personal. Because your initial motivation for doing stuff in this game is you got your ass robbed.
Yeah, like 100%.
You got mugged and you want to get your stuff back. And like that drags you into being heroic, right?
Right.
As opposed to
like it being like thrust on you, like
Yeah.
you are the chosen hero.
you are the chosen hero. Well, you're not. You're just the one who could do stuff.
Wearing a weird hat for Deku. Did you come to town to play? I bet nobody will play with you, right? Oh, that's racist.
Wow.
Why doesn't anybody play with the Dekus? Is it because we're made of wood?
It's because everybody's busy, man. There's like a carnival coming.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah, that's kind of like the conceit of what's going on. There's this town has like a special carnival they do. Once a year.
Guess when it begins?
In 2 days.
No.
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 It doesn't.
No.
When does it begin?
3 days.
Yeah, you're right.
What are you even doing?
It starts at midnight of the third day.
Right.
That's why I got confused. Okay, this kid is here.
What are you looking for?
Nothing. It's just I've been playing the 3DS remake of this game, and I know that they changed some things about this town. So I've been kind of like looking around to see
the locations of the kids are different. But let's just go to the Great Fairy first, okay?
Right. But how would I know where the Great Fairy is if this was the first time I was playing?
Because the game just told you she was in North Clocktown.
Okay, so I'm in North Clocktown.
Right. And there's, like...
Hey, look, a fairy!
Jesus Christ.
Watch this! Green clothes, white fairy, sir? Could you by chance be a forest fairy? That is offensive, man.
Yep.
Oh my. My name is Tingle. I'm pretty sure this is the first time Tingle shows up.
I think this is the first appearance of Tingle.
Majora's Mask is what introduced the world to Tingle. Take that out how you will.
Yeah. This is the one thing I regret from this game.
Alas, though I am already age 35, no fairy has come to me yet. My father tells me to grow up and act my age, but why? I tell you, Tingle is the very reincarnation of a fairy.
Or, not.
Or some dude in spandex. It's one of the two. Anyway, he's like, I'm so lucky to have a fairy. Yeah, I know. She's a real pain so far. Like, she got my horse stolen. Will I buy one of Tingle's maps? Yeah, sure, why not?
It's always a good idea to be buying maps, though. This is the one thing that Tingle does.
You got a map of Clocktown. Like, yeah, like, Tingle's always been the map guy. Like, even in Wind Waker, like, that's what he's about. He's all about the maps.
He does the charts.
Yeah, but he is disgusting looking in this game. I mean, like he doesn't even have proper polygons for half of his, like, animation. Like, he has no neck. Tingle, Tingle, Kooloo-Limpah. Yeah, thank you. It's just very disturbing. But you see, like, this is the thing, is like the Happy Mask Salesman is actually disturbing. This is just like what's wrong with your face? Kind of disturbing. Like it just looks awkward.
I think, well, I don't know the actual story. If any of you guys knows the actual story, you could like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what the actual story is. But I think what happened was they made him super quick just because they needed to sell the maps and they didn't have some way to. What the frick?
Oh no, the Great Fairy! What happened? I actually want to know what's the deal with like changing the fairies. So like in Ocarina of Time, well, I mean, you never see a Great Fairy broken, but usually the fairy fountains had fairies like looking the way that Tattle and Navi and Tail look. So
right,
this like sprite thing that they came up with for here, like I have no idea.
Because those weren't like parts of the Great Fairy; those were just like regular, normal fairies.
Right.
These are like
parts,
pieces of the Great Fairy. These are different kinds of things.
I guess. There's a lot of like, so like in case you don't know, Nintendo is a Japanese company.
If you didn't know that,
the more you know, learning things in OVERWRITE.
Learning things that you already knew.
Yeah, but like,
I'm sure someone's gonna be like, I didn't know that in the comments.
We've just let them know. So Nintendo's a Japanese company, and I think it's a symptom of how quickly this game was made. No, I won't think I want to go to the other side. I think it's a symptom.
Really depends on where you're going.
Of how quickly this game was made. That there's a lot of like Japanese flair to a lot of like the details in this game. And there's the bad guy.
Like, how do you mean?
Well, for example, like the fairy, like the reason I mentioned like the fairy parts is there's a very like kami thing to them, which is kind of. Yeah, kamis are like look them up on Google image search, or if you've ever seen like Princess Mononoke. They're kind of like this forest sprite kind of creatures. So that's kind of what I was
like
getting.
Nature spirits, right?
Right.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like spirituality through a lot of the themes in this game. So that's why I was saying that I'm not. I think kind of the Japanese flair shows up a lot more here than in Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
And on that note, there's the Great Fairy. We got her. We're gonna take her back to the Great Fairy Shrine.
So
the next one.
So yeah. So okay. Let me get this out of the way.
Right.
They're teaching you about a very important game mechanic that's gonna be happening for the rest of the game, right? Because you only have to pick up one stray fairy.
Yeah, no, totally.
For this fairy to be completed, right? But when you do the dungeons and the temples in the game, you're gonna have to pick up 15. So they're teaching you how the stray fairy mechanic works.
It's kind of introducing. Yeah, it's definitely introducing. And one thing that's neat that they do in this game is it works a lot with repetition.
Right.
And so like there's repeating
because
motifs.
Of the nature. Yeah, because of the nature of the game,
it allows the game to teach doing that, and by putting you in the same situation again and again, letting you like reassess what you do in that situation. And yeah, I think we're over time, so overtime and overwrite. See you guys in the next one.
Bye.